So next one, differential reinforcement of incompatible behaviors. In a DRI procedure, we reinforce incompatible behaviors while placing the target behavior on extinction. An incompatible behavior is one that cannot physically co-occur with the targeted behavior. Let's continue with our aggression example. Consider what behaviors cannot coincide with hitting and pushing. Any behaviors that occupy one's hands cannot co-occur with hitting and pushing. I would actually say that I could occupy my hands holding things and still hit or push somebody.
Yeah.
For a child who pushes peers, a DRI might consist of reinforcing the child when they occupy their hands with a fidget tool or a stuffed animal. While differential reinforcement of incompatible behaviors can be beneficial, it is not always the best option. Identifying incompatible behaviors that are functional and appropriate for the learner can take time and effort.
So would this one be kind of like if your dog is going after a squirrel, you're trying to like use a lure to get away from the squirrel? Would that be
what are two things that couldn't go together, right? So like if your dog, well, there's many examples. Let's say you're trying to stop your dog from actually killing the squirrel, right? Well, if your dog is holding an object in their mouth but still chasing the squirrel, they couldn't actually kill it.
Yeah.
Right? If you're trying to stop your dog from chasing the squirrel, your dog cannot hold a downstay and chase the squirrel at the same time. Right?
Gotcha.
And the difference between the incompatible behaviors and the alternative behaviors. Let's read those two one more time. So consider a DRA procedure is similar to a DRO, but instead of reinforcing any other behaviors, we reinforce a specific alternative behavior. Consider our previous example of a child who frequently becomes aggressive. Using a DRA, we would deliver reinforcement when the child engages a particular alternative behavior. The alternative behavior would depend on the function of the child's behavior. For example, if this child pushes peers to gain attention, an alternative behavior could be of greeting or asking the peers to play. So it's something, okay, so incompatible behavior would not put the child in a position where they can even do the behavior, right? Where in this first example, your child can go and greet and ask peers to play and still push them or hit them, right?
Yeah.
So in the case of the squirrel, let's look at this from a dog example, right? I could teach the dog to just run with the squirrel without something in their mouth, and or sniff the squirrel. Let's use a better example. If your dog is attacking cats, right? I could reinforce the dog just going and sniffing the cat politely as an alternative behavior to biting the cat, right?
Yeah.
In the case of the incompatible behavior, that's where I would teach the dog to hold something in the presence of the cat because they physically could not still bite the cat then in that moment, right? And this is what I mean. Like, again, we're still really, really overcomplicating all of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, big time. Big time.